Hello again, everybody. This this tutorial video will be one of several about a couple different ways you can use the glue-lined heat shrink tubing. And there are a couple different ways to use it. I prefer using an alcohol lamp, and I have my mini alcohol lamp here. Very affordable, very easy to use. If you want to spend a little more money, some people use a heat gun. One customer, Reed Maker, said she used steam, although I haven't tried that one. But anyway, you will need a heat source. So let's go through the basic way that one could use these heat shrink tubing to form a modified Turk's head. First thing you want to do is make sure that tubing is on your mandrel first before you put your reed on. Pretty obvious, but I thought I'd state that. Second thing is, once you've done that, make sure you've tightened, especially the bottom wire. I just normally use a triple wrap on the bottom. And this is kind of an old blank, not exactly. Wires are a little in the wrong place, but I thought I'd use it for the purpose of this video. So make sure that one is nice and tight. And the middle one, that's kind of up to you. The heat shrink tubing will not be going over that, it'll be going close to it. So once you've got the bottom wire nice and tight, I would then cut it. Maybe give it another yank. And for me, I like to put the wire downwards, but that's up to you. The middle wire, you want to leave this up. I'm going to clip it anyway. And you're set to go. Now the length of this heat shrink tubing, you can cut it shorter if you want. It does shrink both ways, but depending on the length of your tube and your wire placement, you might find these are a little long. Left them long on purpose. So just a pair of scissors, you can clip it down, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch, whatever. Slide this up over and make sure it doesn't fall backwards. You want to keep everything parallel, and you're ready to go. Now sometimes, side note here, sometimes when you take the cap off, the wick will get pulled out a little bit and you get this huge aggressive flame. You don't want that. You want a much smaller flame so you don't char the reed. So less is more, as they say. Okay, and you hold it about 4 to 6 inches, and this will be a little trial and error for you. And you can see it's already starting to shrink down. Doesn't take much. And just keep rotating it, never leaving it in one position too long. And you might eventually see the glue coming out at the top. Now, as you can see, this tube is a little long for this blank. You keep going, let the glue flow. And I can start to see it oozing out towards the middle wire, and I think we're about done. And that's it. So, now you have the problem of this being a bit too long. You can take your knife and cut that off. So, whatever reed style you use, you will have to do a little experimenting to see how much of that you need to take off. So for me, I'm just going to cut some of this right now. Might not be totally pretty, but it'll be good enough. There you go. And there. Actually have a, now granted, there's no big ball at the bottom, and some people prefer something more to hold on to than this. That's up to you. Actually, in the next video tutorial, I'm going to show you a way to build that up a little bit, but this is the first of several of these. This is your basic heat shrink. Okay? All right, check in the next video and I'll show you some other options to build that up so there's something to grab onto. Okay, happy reed making.